Well, there it goes. I'm going to do something here, so pay no attention to me. But welcome to the den. I am your host, Dan Honcho. I'm glad that you could join us this evening. May sound like my voice is trailing just a little bit, but pay no mind. I think we're going to have a very interesting conversation this evening. We're going to talk about a couple of things. You know, usually we have a particular topic, and then we'll touch on two or three things with consent. We'll touch on two or three things, and we'll address some stuff. So first, let's see who's joining us. You wonderful people of the den. I enjoy having these conversations with you so much. I've been trying to get the text message issue fixed. Customer service has been halfway helpful. Not really. Like, they did a testing and it worked, but for some reason it's still not working on my end. So we'll figure out how that whole bag of worms works. So let's see what we got joining. Let's see. Excuse me. Only one lie. D the Gamma, Shelly Long. What's the motherfucking deal? Culture Anubis, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Sweetberry in the building, what's the motherfucking deal? Baker Man in the building, what's the motherfucking deal? Miss Bell in the building, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Shonda Tony in the building, what's the motherfucking deal? Ronald Isley, you're contagious. What's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Solis in the building. Oh, good to see you, Solis, man. I hope everything is going well. Kay Grace in the building. Miss Grace, love to see your face. Trixie McFly, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Professor Trill in the building. What's the motherfucking deal? Clayton Geary, what's the motherfucking deal? Bex Fire, what's the motherfucking deal? Big Mexican in the building. Hello, Big Mexican. How are you? It's been a while. Remember that skit from fucking Dave Chappelle where you had like the fake ass Sesame Street and all like the fucking STDs and stuff? Those STDs are what I think of whenever I see Big M. So anyway, let's talk about what's going on. Let's talk about masculinity, and we're going to talk about masculinity. We're going to talk about Pronoun Day. I don't know if you guys missed this. I hope you guys declared your pronouns today. And there's a couple other things we're going to discuss in the midst of all that. I cannot get over that video. Shout out to Professor Trill, because he posted a video in the, speaking of masculinity, posted a video in the Facebook group. At good old TSU, right over there in 3rd Ward. And that little girl's face, one, she looks like Gucci Mane's kid. And two, Rashida Reed, well, like I said, when I had to restart the thing, the names didn't show up. So whatever names, it just showed up who had commented recently. Now, if you want to catch square Rashida, we can fight. But that little girl, I probably watched that video 28 times. Because her face, I hate certain memes. I hate phrases that people use. Oh, this energy is all of us. This face is all. This is big mood. But that face was a lot of people, because I'm just like, oh my God, my eyes are all. I don't want to get at you. But that face she made was just like, and it was, she kind of looked side, gave a little side out to the camera, and then looked back like she just couldn't figure out what was going on. Like, that shit was, I'm telling you, it's just the face. Because it wasn't even like it was just a hilarious video. It wasn't even like it was just it was just the face and the way she reacted to what was going on. It's just like, yeah, I think that's the face. Anytime the first time somebody's seen something out of character like that, it's probably the same face everybody. And now, or whenever she probably had to go home and had to ponder everything she's ever been taught in life. And that's so very unfortunate, but that shit was hilarious to me. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. But I want to talk about Pharrell. And I want to talk about, his GQ photo shoot thing. And it's not necessarily just Pharrell to talk about, but it's just this idea of the new masculinity. I don't think there's a such thing as the new masculinity. And as I was looking for tags and terms, this is the thing I use to help me find, to put tags into my videos. And there's this festival called the New Masculinities, right? And so something told me, Honcho, don't look at that. Don't even think about checking it out. But I did, against my better judgment, and it's basically about transforming all these new, basically like all the letters of the alphabet now are some form of masculinity, preaching acceptance and all this other stuff. What people gotta understand though is masculinity is not hate in any way, form, or fashion. It's not what masculinity is, but people try to, they try to lump a lot of things together. This looks like a fucking life raft. Man Cave, what's the motherfucking deal? Binge Over, what's the motherfucking deal? Toxic Femininity, what's the motherfucking deal? 335 in the building, what's the motherfucking deal? And so, yeah, Sesame Street, that's the other thing too. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that too. I'm glad you said that, Craig. The opioid puppet. Opioid mama puppet. Let's be honest. Pharrell looks like a little lesbian, okay? Pharrell looks like freshly out of the closet lesbian. I don't think it'd be mad. Like, do lesbians come out of the closet, or is it like only the gays that come out of the closet? Because I don't even know how that works. But again, there's so much stuff that is being pushed to indoctrinate these beliefs and perpetuate this stuff. Yes, that's Pharrell Williams. Yes, sir. And again, there's no new masculinity. And I read the entire article. I get what he's saying. He's basically saying he's an ally, and he's pushing, pushing women to the forefront and doing all of these things, right? And again, I'm not against women. I love the ladies. I think women should have every opportunity to have just as much success as any man. Like I'm not impeding. I am an ally to the ladies. To the others, I don't care. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm an ally, but I'm not an enemy. But I will support a woman who is trying to do things. I'm not going to knock you down. I'm not going to be, undermining. I think that you should have every opportunity any man should have. But at the same time, acknowledge the opportunities you have to advance your advantages and the disadvantages. You can't be one of those women who wants to have all the opportunities, but then you don't want to suffer any of the consequences. And then when you have to deal with real male consequences, and now you start getting upset and then expecting, someone to come save you. Dreamer, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. And so, like I say, this dude looks like a little lesbian, and so he's just talking about an article throughout the article. Oh, new masculinity is this, and he should be support. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck? 335. I appreciate the love. I don't know what's happening right now. On top of my head looks like a scraping shit on my head. But yeah, man. So I guess I need to fix my cam too. That's part of the problem, I guess. But yeah, man. So like I said, I read his article, and it's cool. We all know Pharrell is woke. We all know Pharrell is different. But let's be honest. Nobody, when you say the word masculinity, nobody's saying, "Hey, I need to know Pharrell's opinions on masculinity." Pharrell has always been borderline, and I won't say that Pharrell's like I don't think Pharrell's a gay or anything like that. I don't think he's that. So I'm not trying to say that. But he's just been really weird and really different. He's always been that way. Even when he made, a different kind of music, he talked about, calling women bitches and hoes and, how that impacted people. He talked about the song Blurred Lines and how people said it was rapey. I guess, but again, it just, a lot of crazy. He talked about that song too. And he talked about how he didn't write that song for him. He wrote it for CeeLo Green. And it makes so much sense because that sounds like a CeeLo Green song. You know what I'm saying? But again, he's just different. He's in other cultures. He's just different. So I'm not knocking him, but for people to go to him and say this is the guy that we want to have representing the new masculinity, I think that's very far fetched. Because basically, what I think people have done is they couldn't make masculinity toxic like they want to. Say, oh, it's a poison, it's a bad thing. So now they want to alter masculinity and turn it into something else. Well, it's something that we can all embrace. You know, we're all a bit masculine. You know, it's in all of us. And so now they're trying to alter the definition. They're trying to alter what it means. Oh, I'm not defending him or any of his outfits. I just know he's just a different type of dude. I mean, he's always been that way. I mean, think about it. Back from the NERD days, he was just different. You know what I'm saying? Remember the song, Ooh Baby, You Want Me, that little weird song he had? What the fuck is going on with the fucking... Shut up, phone. So like I said, you know, did the text message actually come through? What the fuck? Is it actually working? What's happening here? Let me see here. So I don't know. Is it? Let me. So I see the text, but I don't know if it's letting me see if you sent a photo with it or not. I'm not sure. Because for some, this one might not let me do photos with this. I have to look. Like I said, I have to check. But I'll definitely have to check that out. But a text message actually came through. Interesting. That's maybe it is working. Shit. Maybe they did reset the fucking shit. But so, you know, again, like I said, it is what it is. But so now they're trying to assimilate masculinity into all of these other things. You know, as masculinity, we're embracing this and we're embracing that. No, the fuck we're not. Okay. No, we're not. You can be different. You can be weird. Honestly, I don't think masculinity is a look. It's not a look. I don't even think masculinity necessarily has to do with your sexuality. Some masculine ass broads out there. Let's be honest. Some very masculine women out there. All right, man. I appreciate you coming through, man. There's a very masculine. There's some women out there, and we live in a society. What's up, Unbeaten? What's the motherfucking deal? And in this society, there's some women who are more masculine than some of those who have hanging genitalia. So we'll kind of leave it at that. But I don't even think it has to do with your sexuality. There's a lot of weird stuff probably happening in prison, and it's a lot of motherfuckers in prison you probably wouldn't fuck with. So I don't think it's all about that either. But it's this idea of what they're trying to turn it into. Like I said, this idea of making people try to embrace everything. Again, I don't hate anybody. I don't hate anybody for whatever choices they make in life. Okay? Just, in my opinion, they're choices. You can say they're wrong. You say whatever. You say you're born. I mean, we're going to argue that until the cows come home. How did that saying get started? Cows come home. Where did the cows go for the cows to have to come home? That's what I need to know. But I'm going to be cycling through a couple of these pictures here. And again, like I said, I want to know your thoughts on why would this guy be the go-to guy for, you know, anyone's opinion on masculinity. But again, like I said, but basically what they were asking him, what he was talking about was just something different. You know, it wasn't about masculinity. It was just about his overall life perspectives, how he is the way he is. And, you know, come on. This looked like a look he stole from Erykah Badu. You know, I really do. You know, yeah. I mean, and that's what they were talking about him. He was one of the first dudes I think to start doing the purse thing, you know, and all of that stuff. Like, look, from time to time, I utilize the services of a backpack. The backpack is A-okay. I don't care what you say. You can have your own opinions. I know I'm not in fucking high school, but sometimes you got to transport stuff from one place to another. Legal stuff. You know, I carry a lot of notebooks. Writing utensils and things. If I go place, I like to jot down notes. I have to keep track of certain records of things, you know, and so I usually keep a notebook with me, even though it's so much easier to do it on the phone. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not a person that can fucking, I can't log everything into my phone. Like I can't, I'm sure I could if I developed the habit, but to me, it's just easier to write some shit down. Like I got space and opportunity. I don't know, maybe if it's the big hands thing and phones are just weird. And I have a note. It's just like, phone just seems so small. It seems uncomfortable to me. So, you know, exactly. I agree with you, Unbeaten. I agree with you that there needs to be a balance. I think households need balance. I think all these things need balance. But when you try to make everybody everything, that's when shit becomes unstable. That's when societies become undermined, ruined, and taken over, and the population of those societies, end up fading away into the distance. So, but let's talk about it. So, like I said, it's just that I believe masculinity is a specific set of things. I think those people who let me not confuse bravery with masculinity, but I think that is a part of it. I don't think it's a look. I don't think it's a sex. I don't think it's a sexual orientation attached to it. I think it's a level of action. It's a way of operating. It's a way of carrying yourself. It is definitely not accepting the victimization side of things. Masculinity is what has paved the way for society this society to be where it is. For most societies to sustain, who goes to war? It's not the most feminine ones, They're not the ones going to war. You can watch all the Black Panther you want to, but it's the man that is expected to go out to hunt, to kill, to face the dangers, to make a safer society for those back home, for those who, do whatever. So again, like I said, I think that there are levels to it. Again, not condemning anybody else. I don't hate anybody else. I really don't care enough about other particular subgroups in certain alphabetical formations for me to sit here and say that I hate them or that, I'm opposed. I really don't care. But in my household, we operate a certain way. We have a certain set of beliefs, and that is the way we rock. Now, we do understand the society in which we live, and right now with a small or a younger child learning how to operate in this society, for now, we teach a certain level of things on how to interact and how to engage and how to operate in this society. Bexfire, I appreciate you coming through. Hey, a little bit of time is a good amount of time. Sandland, what's the motherfucking deal? Now, that is a good question. And again, but now they're teaching you that masculinity is bad. Now, that's why I say that they're trying to assimilate the masculinity as opposed to saying, hey, well, it's toxic masculinity and it's all bad. Now they're saying it's a different form of masculinity. And it's basically they're trying to turn masculinity into femininity. And just disguise it as something else. It is what it is. Again, the fathers, I don't even know. Here's my thing. Think about it. I saw a commercial that I hate so much, right? Y'all ever seen that? What is that? Is it a K Jewelers commercial, I think? And I probably talked about it a while back. With that fucking kid. It didn't even say anything. The dude's like, I want to ask you, it's okay if I take the hand in marriage. And then it shows this little weird looking kid, real effeminate looking little kid. You know what I'm saying? And it just, it bothers me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If something was to go down, is this the guy that you want to lead you into war right here? Not a fashion war. I mean, just in the battle, anywhere. I mean, if you went out, I mean, even if you were just going out to the club at night, right? Just hanging out, going to have a drink. Sometimes brawls break out in the club. You expect this guy to fight for you? No, this guy's not going to want to get his fancy clothes dirty. You know what I mean? But this is I've shown y'all some of the outfits. These are not even the worst. It gets far worse. But I should have put it in a fucking slideshow. But again, this is not a knock on Pharrell. There's a lot of Pharrells out there. There's buku Pharrells out there, and let me fix it. There's the problem. I didn't fix it right. 1 second. There we go. And so my thing is, and I'm not even gonna knock the clothes. I tell y'all, look, I got my best friend, the one I tell you that passed away. He was ahead of his time, man. Real player ass dude, real player ass dude, man. But he used to rock pastel colors. He was but not in the way that this guy's wearing it. It was a different look. More brighter colored polo style shirts and things like that. He'd rock brighter colors. But believe you me, this is not a nigga that you would want to play crooked. Sometimes people will do things that may throw you off a little bit. You may think, oh yeah, this old sucker, man, and you could end up in a world of hurt. You could end up in a very bad position. But ain't nobody sitting like this. Ain't nobody operating like this, or whatever. So again, that's why I say it's not the clothes. It's not the image, but it's just, like I say, it's just certain things in a way that you're carrying yourself. So, but again, like I said, the new masculinity, what is the new masculinity? You know, because they're trying to change it. It's not about dominance. It's not about taking the lead. And again, dominance is not always a bad thing. We talk about dominance and submission, and people look at these as bad words. Someone has to dominate. Someone has to take the lead. Someone has to, someone has to risk danger so that other people can have safety. I mean, that's just how it works. It's that give and take. Somebody has to go out and earn. Somebody has to go out and, come up with these ideas and do these things. So there's that. I don't want to briefly talk on that. But now I want to jump into something else. We're talking about femininity and we're talking about some other things. I want to bring up something to you. When we talk about alphabet situations and stuff like that in here from time to time, maybe more often than I even like to. Somehow it just gets brought up. But today I told you was National Pronoun Day, right? October 16th, National Pronoun Day. I didn't know it was a thing. Every day is some type of stupid fucking day, right? But yes, we do need to. I think that I'm a firm believer what's happening in this society, especially with young men, is that there are no longer rites of passage. Even when it comes to, you look at sports and stuff, the numbers are declining. There are no rites of passage. There's no danger. No one is challenging these kids. Everybody's like, hey, let's all be friends. Let's all be buddies. Let's all be, come on, female people. We know the niggas you fuck with just like for real. Everything should be nice, that there's no challenges. Without challenge, there is no growth. And now, people don't want to challenge anybody. Men don't want to be challenged. I'm going to dive deeper in a couple of things, though, when it comes to masculinity and what happens to now, because you got a lot of men flipping the script, becoming something else, right? Doing other things, acting in a different manner. And so, why is that? Do you think that's fear? Do you think that's upbringing? Because it's now more so than ever. It wasn't popularized. It wasn't glamorized. Now that it's a thing, it's on TV, the attention that's there. The women who embrace this, and I blame a lot of women for this, because women embraced this before men ever did. And now, because men want to continue to get pussy, they start acting like they with the shit. Yeah. I'm a feminist man, and I'm a tolerant man, and all this because they think it's going to help them get pussy. That's the only reason men ever accept any stupid shit. Like weak men accept that shit, and then they still get no pussy, and they still complain. But my thing is that motherfuckers have been pushing this. Again, I think you have certain homes, and I'm not going to say, because even back then, there's been an uptick, yes, decade after decade in single-parent homes and things like that. But even in certain single-parent homes, this idea was not tolerable. This idea was not acceptable. But now, because of what you see on TV, because of it being promoted and it being glamorized, I think, again, TV has a big influence on a lot of stuff. You see stuff on television, people start emulating, people start doing it. But anyway, National Pronoun Day. I'm going to do a couple little things here, and then I'm going to open up the line. There's a lot of days that you may or may not have heard of. And I wanted to make sure you guys are woke, okay? Hey, you guys got to be woke. We got to be woke in this day and age. And I'm going to help you get your woke levels up, because that's what the den is all about. The den is all about the woke folk, okay? Excuse me. Tell me this dude don't look like a little... Looks kind of like Wanda Sykes here. You know what I'm saying? Got to be woke. If you ain't woke, then you're a joke. And a slow poke. I don't know. But anyway, there's a lot of days that you guys may have missed. And I want to help you put these all on your calendars just in case you missed Pronoun Day, right? Now, these are real days, apparently. And they all seem like the same day to me, but let's get into it. International Transgender Day of Visibility, March 31st. Make sure you mark that on your calendar. Lesbian Visibility Day, April 26th. Make sure you mark that on your calendar. International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia, May 17th. Harvey Milk Day, May 22nd. Pansexual and Panromantic Visibility Day, May 24th. Pride Month, June, everybody's favorite month, June, right? That was the month that most people got married, right? Most people got married in June, right? I think most weddings used to get planned in June. And now June is Pride Month. Bisexuality Day, September 23rd. Bisexual Awareness Week, September 23rd through fucking 30th. So it's a day and then it turns into a week. This is fucking hilarious. National Coming Out Day, October 11th. National LGBT Center Awareness Day, October 19th. That makes me extremely sad. I'll talk about why that makes me sad in a couple of days. Spirit Day. I don't even know what that means. I thought that was like maybe a Halloween related thing. October 20th. Intersex Awareness Day, October 26th. Asexual Awareness Week, October 23rd through 29th. Transgender Day of Remembrance, November 20th. Pansexual Panromantic Pride Day, December 8th. Why are all of these days for one thing? No, Tiffany, we are all about understanding. We are all about learning and trying to comprehend. We are woke. We are trying to make sure we are woke, and I'm trying to alert people into the most important days that they may not have marked on their calendars. Now, again, a lot of stuff that is going on, right? And again, it's very questionable. Again, like I said, I don't understand all of the days, where all these days come from. Where did all of these things... Yeah, that explains a lot. Why do... yeah, that's okay, because it's a joke. But my thing is this, man. It's like, this is what they're trying to turn masculinity into. Again, I don't have anything against people, but like I say, it's, if you're telling me it's not an agenda, right? If you're telling me it's not an agenda, again, I don't necessarily give a shit about having the month of February, what is Black History Month. You should be, if you're black, you should be knowing your history, period. But they have more days combined than the whole fucking Black History Month. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I don't understand. Like, all of those things are the same in my book, right? And a day, and a day, and another day, and another day, and another day. Like, how many damn days? And it's all about awareness. And what does awareness mean? Hey, look at me, pay attention. It's not about getting anything done, right? It's not about, I'm telling y'all, look, Honcho Hatred Day is coming soon, right? We just got to get a few more subscribers in the den. But Honcho Hatred Day is coming soon. But yeah, I mean, you know, you got National Ice Cream Day, National Shitty Burger Day. You can, yeah, and I think there's like a place that you can actually go and like file for a day. But I don't know how the process works. But soon I'm gonna have a damn day just because. But so my thing is, National Ass Eating Day. That's terrible. I wouldn't be surprised if there already is one. Bring your Dodgers jerseys. But my thing is this, man. Why is all of this necessary? Why is all of this a thing? If you are who you are and you're happy to be who you are, why do we need all these additional days of the weeks and months and all? And I still don't understand what queer means, because none of these days were queer days. Where does the Q fit into all of this stuff? Like, that's the one thing I'm still trying to figure out. Like, that's the only thing that I haven't gotten a proper definition for. I don't even know what the I, because I had to took it off a screenshot. I don't even know what the I is. Queers and I don't know what none of that stuff means, right? But they're teaching this stuff to the kids in schools. Kids who are at a point where they don't understand they're still trying to discover life, and they're normalizing a lot of things that are not normal. Look, man. Oh, there was something that was posted the other day. This behavior does not create life. Okay. And so, I actually meant to add another picture. I know y'all love these Pharrell pictures, so I'm putting them all up for you guys. Some of these are bad. How about this one? So, it cannot be normal because, if people say, well, you have science and you can use this and you can use that. Okay, yeah, this is true. You can have people do, artificial insemination. You can have surrogate donors. Dude kind of looks like, what's that Will Smith's kid? Looks damn near like that kid. There we go. The socks are what made this. The socks just set it off. So my thing is like this, is what I'm saying. Is like, all of this is part of the big program. Again, I don't hate people for being people. I hate the agenda for trying to be pushed on the people who may not agree with it. Why do I have to be forced with this? The cotton ceiling. Explain that, please. I think I have an idea of what you're saying, but it's very, very interesting. The terminology to use there. But I agree, because now the traditional family is frowned upon. Traditional roles, gender roles are frowned upon. And so, again, and I think there are actually a lot of people who happily accept their traditional gender roles. I mean, there is biological differences between men and women that make things the way that they are, that make certain roles apply because of who you are. Again, I'm ready to do this live stream in 2019. I got like 3 days before they cut this shit out. But, again, like I say, it's just, I'm trying to be as brave as Bruce Jenner or Caitlyn, whatever the name is. I want to be that brave, maybe give me a cover. On GQ, hey, that's a goal. But my thing is, like I say, it is what it is. And I know I've been talking for a minute. I want to open up the line. I will open up the line. Two things I want to talk about real quick before I open up the line. Opioid Muppet is hilarious. I can't wait to see it. I don't know if it's out already. I don't know if it's a thing already, but I can't wait to see it. I find it hilarious. I want to know how that's even a thing, like why it even matters. Your mom's on the drugs. You're an opioid Muppet. Like, will they show the mama Muppet? Like, that's what I want to know, because they have a Muppet whose mom has an opioid addiction. But will they ever show the mama Muppet that has the drug problem? Where was the crack Muppet? All right, Sesame Street's been lying around for a long time. Long time. I've never seen the crack Muppet. She'll be with Oscar in the trash can. Oh, that's sad. Get a job, Grouch. Get it together, Grouch. And there was one last thing. Shit, I done fucking forgot it now. But we'll get back to it. I'm sure it'll pop up in the middle of whatever I'm thinking about. And we will definitely talk about it. But again, no hatred here. I have no hate for anybody. I just think there's just certain things that, hey, if you're living a particular lifestyle, that's for you and your family to discuss. But I don't think it needs to be put on television every single day. I don't think people need to be encouraged to, do all this other stuff. And again, like I say, I really want to rant. I don't have the ranting energy right now. I want to rant about some shit, but I don't know. I don't even have the juice right now to rant. Yeah, I don't think it lets me see the whatchamacallit. I think it only lets me take just the regular text messages. That's no bueno. Give me a second for the boot the line up, and then we'll get it active, and then we will take some calls as soon as I get it together. But I thank you all for being here this evening. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're in the den. You may regret it later. No, the den. Everybody's friends in the den. And furthermore, that is a lie. I probably need to stop saying that. Probably. I probably need to stop saying everybody. I think we've proven time and time again that everybody is not friends in the den. We are not all friends in the den. As much as I would love for this to be, I probably don't want it to be a whole "we are the world." This is definitely not that club. But hey, the Denline is, wow, we on, we live, baby. Shout out to everybody. If you would like to support the channel, you can go to streamlabs.com/The Den Show. And if you want to use some of the nifty masks that 335 tends to violate, what the hell? What the fuck? Why is this ringing? They must like reset all my fucking settings. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
What's going on, Honcho?
Hello. Yeah.
It's your favorite Mexican.
Definitely not my favorite Mexican. A Mexican that I know.
Clearly your favorite Mexican.
You're a Mexican.
Well,
this is true.
You have a lot of Mexicans in your life. You are a construction worker, right?
I have worked in the construction field. I am currently not working construction.
Bro, all I want to know is if you've seen that commercial yet. You didn't answer me in the chat.
And which commercial is that?
There's a commercial that just went out like a couple days ago, and it was a tampon commercial about how men menstruate.
Oh, no. Is this on Univision? I don't watch that.
No, this is on regular cable TV.
Oh, okay. All right.
Is that a bunch of, like, a young boy walks up to his dad and is like, "Dad, I started my period."
Yeah. Please tell me you're lying about this.
I swear. I promise you. All you do, just search it on YouTube. Put commercial of men menstruating. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Okay. I'm jotting this down in my notes. It makes me extremely sad to hear this.
It was. I watched it earlier today. It popped up in this YouTube hole that I got in, and it was the weirdest, most uncomfortable commercial I've ever watched.
So you're in a YouTube hole watching men menstruate. I'm not even going to ask what you search for to get there. I'm just let you, hey, live your life, live your truth, or whatever day it is today.
Hashtag live your life.
So today is National Pronoun Day. What are your pronouns, Big M?
You don't need to worry about my pronouns, Honcho.
No, I want to be respectful.
You need to just sit there and.
How can I be respectful if I don't know your proper pronouns? That gets you arrested these days.
Especially if you're in Canada.
Yeah, that's bad place.
No.
England and Canada are bad places.
I feel like you would move to Canada. You would move to Canada just for the healthcare.
And see, now, at one point in time, I had thought about, hey, Canada doesn't sound like that bad of a place. But then once I realized how far off the charts they are, I realized that's probably not where I need to be. The more I started paying attention to some of the things that they have going on, and similar to some of the things they have going on across the pond, I think I'm cool where I'm at. I don't think I need. If I go anywhere, I'm going to go to an Asian country.
An Asian country? I could totally see you going to like the Middle East somewhere, or like Russia.
No, neither one of those. I really wouldn't. Thinking along those lines.
I could see you going to like a patriarchal place.
What's wrong with the patriarchy? Is that a bad thing?
Nothing at all.
Are you a feminist?
No,
Are you a feminist, Big U?
No.
Okay.
I'm more in line with you than on most issues. Sometimes the stuff you say is a little weird, but about 99% of the stuff that you say I agree with.
Okay.
Or at least kind of like your side of the fence. Not necessarily like every single thing that you say I agree with, but a good amount of what you say I agree with.
I mean, I know we kind of hit the fork in the road when we get to the green card issue. This I understand. It did make sense.
This whole hashtag build a wall thing you're always posting is kind of weird. But I mean,
what's wrong with the wall? A wall equals jobs, man. That's construction right there. A wall is jobs. Man.
That you were taking jobs from Mexicans. That's messed up.
How so?
Well, you said you were in construction, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, that's it right there. You're taking jobs away from hardworking illegal immigrants.
No, I mean it's like this. It's like, okay, say you ever had a friend borrow something from you, and then you end up like they have it so long that you kind of got to borrow it back. You know, it's yours, but you got to borrow it back. That's kind of the situation there.
Bro, I feel like you're that friend.
Hmm.
I
Uh,
feel like you still have your best friend's shovel in your
uh,
garage.
Maybe Nintendo 64 games, but not. I wouldn't say a show.
All right, Honcho. Well, I just wanted you to go look at that commercial, and I want to hear your reaction after you watch it, because it made me super uncomfortable. It was so weird.
Oh man,
Like a dude is walking around with a tampon string coming out of his shorts. It's the grossest thing I've ever seen.
yeah, I'm gonna think twice about watching that. I'm pretty sure it's the next thing to rant and rave about, so I'll check it out. But if I have problems sleeping at night, I'm gonna blame you.
Bro, it's on Comcast. Like, it's airing on, like, regular TV. It's so weird.
This is terrible. Oh my god.
All right, man.
All right, big man. I appreciate the call.
Talk to you later, man.
All right. I'm mad. Why is this shit ringing again? Like, what happened to it? Was all fine and dandy. It was perfect, and then now it's like ringing again. I'm mad that this fucking shit has a ring. It was all silent and perfect. They had to reset some of my account. I don't know what the fuck they did. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the den this evening? Oh, maybe I fucked something up. Yeah, I did. Hold on one second. All right, my fault. Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
It's Unbeaten, man.
Unbeaten, man. What's on your mind, man? How are you feeling this evening, Unbeaten?
And I'm chilling, man.
Already. So what are your thoughts just on, whatever we've been speaking on tonight, Pharrell, masculinity, what they're trying to do with the idea of masculinity these days? What is your opinion on what society is going?
I mean, we've already been talking about this agenda. It's plain and simple as it is. I mean, the way I think about it, man, it's really simple and not complicated. You want to take it back to, like, I don't know, say a few hundred years back. Let's just say we have one tribe and they're going to go invade another tribe.
Yes.
One of the first things they're going to do when they invade the other tribe is kill off all the alpha males.
Yes.
Right? You kill off all the alpha males, then you rape the women, thereby creating a buffer between you and the original people that was there. You start, stealing the natural resources in the land. You start implementing religion and all these different things that you would do if you was going to create and take over another land. Well, it's the same thing that's happening here, right? They're killing off the alpha male, right? And the alpha male would be the men who don't, who hold on to traditional masculine roles and know what it means to be a man, right? And they're slowly trying to kill us all, essentially. Because once you kill off all the alpha males, it's easier to control the population.
Yeah.
It's quite simple. And right, and it's real crazy because when you pay attention to it, like there a lot of times they target the youth and the kids, and these kids don't really have a backbone, right? They're on the internet all the time. They're very impressionable, right? And a lot of times, the fathers either not there or they just don't take that time to kind of spit game to the kids and especially the young men, and let them know, hey, yo, this is what it means to be a man. This is how a man handles things. This is how he maneuvers. This is how he acts, right? You don't have that background, and then especially all the time they sit on the internet between their friends and not knowing and not educated about what it is to be a man. They're gonna fall straight into the traps of this new wave masculine or feminine or whatever they want to call themselves.
I agree. So who would you say, with this new assault on masculinity here, especially, it's almost, I don't even know if it's just an American thing. It almost seems like it's international. You see it heavily in Canada, you see it heavily in, European areas. And so it's a big thing. But even here in America, who do you think is really behind this new, like I said, this new assault on masculinity?
your white supremacist groups.
Okay.
I mean, if you think about that, behind a lot of things, but I'm pretty sure they're behind this. It's all about control. It's easier to control beta males and the femininized men than alpha males, because alpha males ain't gonna play this bullshit.
Okay.
Straight up.
Okay. Interesting. And what do you think is the game? I mean, do you really have more power controlling weak people? I mean, is that real power? Do you have more power controlling powerful people?
Well, nah, because I mean, there's strength in numbers, and it's almost like guiding cattle into like a stable or something like that. You know what I mean? Just push them in that motherfucker. Just keep going, right? And it's especially like here's the thing is like people are slaves of thoughts. Don't even really, but they just kind of go with the flow and control the whole entire life. You don't really think about it. It's just something that you do, and then eventually, or some people just don't. They don't pay attention. They're just a part of the system, man. That's really why The Matrix is one of my favorite movies, because that shit is real. That shit is so real, man.
Okay, and I agree with you. Like I say, yeah, I'm a firm believer, because, like I say, it makes you look at things from a different perspective. That's why it was a movie that definitely had a significant impact on my life. Because when you just start looking at people and how they just move, just like you said, like cattle.
They really don't know. They're living a perfectly normal life and okay with just accepting the status quo. Like it's crazy, man, and like I realize like a lot of it, like it, you know what I'm saying. Back in the day, they used to use religion to control people.
Yeah.
Now that people are kind of fighting back against religion, it's just straight just attacking you at this point.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I used to be a religious person, and I kind of stepped back and realized the hypocrisy in it. You know, like I could realize how to give somebody or some organizations and a lot of power just because I think a certain way, and that's just how my lens of life just goes through.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that, because like I'm gonna be honest, man. Like I was religious when I was born. Like I said, I told y'all often I was raised Jehovah's Witness, and I've gotten away from it. But it's like almost some of the things that I see, and just some of the things that are happening, it makes me think back to certain things that were spoken on, certain things that were talked about, and it's just like I don't even know. I don't know if I want to be necessarily religious, but I feel like sometimes maybe I need to get into some type of stability. Maybe I need to be a little bit more spiritual, because, like I said, I think there is some spiritual warfare going on. I think that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think a lot of people come to that cross section, and it's either you're gonna man up or woman up and take responsibility for all your actions and kind of go through and guide everything, or you either gonna cower and run back to the church.
Mm. Yeah.
I don't want to call religious people cowards or that, but that's just yeah.
Yeah, and because again, like I said, I have my own thoughts on the afterlife and stuff like that. So I don't necessarily agree with most people on how that whole thing plays out. But it's just like, man, you just see certain things that are going on in the world today, and you're just like, how, why, and who? And it's crazy. It's almost like I don't know. Maybe it's that whole thing about history repeats itself. I mean, we've seen this in some of those. What was it? The Romans. And things like that. Once they start getting too knowledgeable for themselves, everybody's what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Intellectuals and intersexuals, and then pretty soon the collapse of that society comes. Not too far behind that. I mean, that's kind of where we are now.
People become too smart for their own good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean that's the thing, but like you know, saying a wise man knows that he knows nothing at all.
Yeah.
As long as you understand to keep yourself humble, and just understanding and just having a drive to, or a desire to learn and to continue to understand and continue to grow. I mean, You know what I'm saying? It's a problem when you grow and then you stop to like to smell the roses of what you just planted, and it becomes dangerous because ain't nobody can tell you shit after that point.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, but I think that's where we are. I think we got a lot of people who they figured that because they've subscribed to this one, manner of thinking, and they've gotten in depth in this manner of thinking that, that's the end all be all. Anybody who disagrees is ignorant, foolish, intolerant, whatever you want to call it. And that's the thing. Like I say, it's a wave of this that is taking over the country.
You know what, man? I've been noticing. I don't know what the name of the phenomenon, but have you ever notice how like somebody who used to get like beat up or wasn't really good at the field of where they was at, and then all of a sudden they get some knowledge and they get good little, they get a little bit of success, and all of a sudden they start smelling themselves. Yeah. They be talking shit like, yo, ain't nobody can touch me. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. It's like, bro, you was just on the ground not too long ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't understand it because it only really affects certain people. It's like, yo, certain people are just better. I don't know. I guess I say people are just better at being followers than leaders. Yeah. Like sometimes when a follower becomes a leader, it just changes them into an evil, nasty, dirty person. Yeah. But I don't know.
Yeah, I agree, and I think part of it is just that perception of what they think a leader is. I don't even think they're real true, because if you don't have it in you, you can't really be a true leader. You can be followed, I think, without being a leader. I think followers follow followers these days. So, it's a real crazy situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Man, how's it been coming along? I know you're saying that you're going to do a sports podcast. How's that been coming along for you, man?
Man, honestly, man, I got sidetracked, man. I've been doing some real estate moves in the city. That's a new adventure for me right now.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of taking up a lot of my time.
Hey man, go where the money at, man. Do the money thing. The podcast will be there.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well that's a bit. Well, B man, as always, it's good to hear from you, man, and I'm glad that you're making some moves out there.
Absolutely.
All right. I appreciate you coming.
All right.
Let me see if I can fix it. Okay, here we go. Almost got it. I was trying to cut the fucking thing off. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
There you go. It's corny. That's poor. What happens when you make an Asian girl squirt? She charges you 10 cents for extra salt.
Woo! What's the motherfucking deal we have calling in to the den this evening?
Hey man, it's Solis.
Solis, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What's on your mind, Solis, man? How you doing this evening, man?
Doing all right, man. How are you?
I'm good. Life is good. No complaints. So what would you like to speak on this evening? How do you feel about where masculinity is going? And did you pick your pronouns for Pronouns Day today?
I say fuck them. I don't do that shit.
Already. Okay. So what are your thoughts, man, on what's going on with masculinity in society, or whatever it is you may want to speak on?
Well, obviously, as a young man, I really think that people nowadays are just trying to change of what I guess they value of what the man should be or what the man should like now. Before it was, oh, you got to go to work, make money for your family, and come home, pay the bills. Just do what you need to do, to support your family, right? Like, so nowadays, women still think about, like, women that like men, not that other shit, not LGBTQ, like real natural women. They think about security, protection, and future. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's still, like, relevant today. But as far as, I guess, mainstream media, how they want to make males to be or more feminized, because you got a real confusion of what people want to be and what people perceive that they want to be and all that good stuff now because of whatever the fuck now. I don't really know. It's just hard to explain now, man. I mean, it's really a weird time to really talk about that and to be on the opposite side, you know, because I don't really fuck with that shit at all. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but it's just different, man.
Yeah.
That's really all I can say about it.
I agree. Yeah, it's a weird time, like I say, because you see now where we are in society compared to maybe 10 years ago, which was still, you know, in the 2000s, you know, even the 10 years before. I mean, it's just changed so much from, I guess, what I was seeing when I was a youth. And I think, you know, we talk about the information superhighway, so now there's so many other avenues in which we can push certain information to people without, again, like I said, without, you know, I guess there's rules and boundaries that you would have on TV and radio. And then once you saw that stuff was acceptable through the internet and all of these other things, then it started pushing its way into the mainstream and becoming acceptable. And again, I think it's all for money. I don't think any of it, I don't think most of these people who are really pushing this idea are sincere and genuine. I think that they see that there's money behind it. If we show that we love and tolerate everybody, we're not putting pressure on anybody, and everybody's okay with us, and we don't hate you. We love everything you do, even if you're a super fuck up. You know, we embrace you. I think that's what it is. I think that when you don't hold anybody any standards, again, like I say, without issuing challenges, without having a bar to clear, there is no growth. You know, without setting.
Well, everyone wants to feel accepted now. You know,
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be along a part of a group, and you know, feel like, yay, I'm part of this. You know,
Yes.
and then they got my back no matter what. This, but it's not the real world. Like, the real world don't think that. You don't give a fuck about you. At the end of the day, you gotta look at yourself, take care of yourself and your own. That's all it is.
Yeah. I don't think that's what it is.
When you got, you know, even like this right now, like this is what, like the DIN community, you know, it's a cool thing. But at the end of the day, you know, I wouldn't expect one of y'all to have my back because I don't know y'all like that, you know? You don't know these people like that. And that's the whole thing.
That's true. Man, there's a thing we were talking about the other day in the Mixer crew, and I'm going to bring this up randomly. They were talking about HIV. I think they just had the LGBT summit thing the other day, right? And they were talking about making AIDS, you know, basically if you willingly give someone AIDS, it used to be a felony. If you knew that you had AIDS and you gave it to somebody else. Then I think in California they lowered it down to a misdemeanor. And now they're talking about getting rid of any criminal penalties whatsoever, so that you can knowingly, because now it's no longer a death sentence, and we don't want to, you know, put that stigma on people who have HIV or AIDS. And my thing is this.
Well, you should have told the motherfucker.
And that's all I'm saying is like, well, here's the deal. You put a stigma on yourself. One, if you're willingly giving people this. Two, I think if you're doing anything that alters a person's lifestyle permanently, then yeah, there is some type of consequence with it. Like, again, this is not about a stigma. Yes, you know that people can live with it. Yes, you can be in a situation where you can have a partner and not transfer it to them and all that other good stuff. But I think a person should have the option, if they want to take that risk, then let them, but they should knowingly be informed about taking that risk. I don't think that you should be able to operate on that level without having to inform someone that you are, you know, infected with HIV. Again, it's not the same like it used to be. It used to be a death sentence. Now it is whatever. We can talk about the stigma by informing people of, you know, the changes in what it is, but I don't think sitting here saying that it's okay to just give it to it freely. And so that goes back into what you're talking about, where we were saying that everybody wants to be accepted. Unfortunately, sometimes things happen, and sometimes things happen to good people. And it's very unfortunate. I mean, good things happen to me. Bad things happen to good people all the time. But what do you think about that? Because I thought that tied into kind of how you were referring about, you know, everybody wants to be accepted, and now they're doing anything to accept and embrace everybody, even when sometimes these things aren't the wisest moves.
And see, that's all what we were talking about last time when I was last on, about how the internet, you know, makes shit bigger than what it needs to be sometimes. So that right there just proves that, you know, what we just said earlier, or right now is that's just that's just bad, bro. I mean, there's no other way to go around that. I mean, you gotta tell someone. That's like the same thing. Like if I was talking to a girl, right, and I didn't know they were a transgender person, I expect you to tell me because I like natural women. I don't like no synthetic shit. I like natural, born a female, you know. And that's the thing where people now in our society where we gotta ask questions if you have a certain preference or something. You gotta go literally ask a female now, like, hey, are you a real woman?
Yeah.
And that's the scary thing, man, because if people don't feel like, you know, oh, well, I have HIV, but I just don't want to tell someone, and you have sexual intercourse, that could fuck up that person's life because you don't know what else they're doing, and that's just, yeah, that's I don't know. I remember high school, man, there was a girl that she had some type of STD. She fucked this dude, and the dude fucked someone else, and it was going throughout the school. And so we actually had a sexual disease control come to our school and tell us about public sex and how having safe sex because people were having whatever she fucking had. And so that right there should just tell you that you need to have boundaries on certain shit on people that have certain shit because you just gotta know in society. I'm not saying put a label on them. That's not right, but they need to have the moral compass to let someone else know, like, hey, I have this.
I agree. And I agree with what Only One Lie says that, you know, if you've become one of the unfortunate that has become infected or sick, even though if you have it under control or whatever it may be. I mean, it is what it is. And I hate not to single anybody out. I don't know, you know, whatever's your business, whoever has whatever. But you know, you should maybe abstain. You know, it's unfortunate. I know it's hard to control human nature and all that other stuff. Or hear me out. Maybe there's a lot of other people with it, and they're living with like, why not? You know, they're like meetings maybe, or there's like a dating group for everybody else. So I wonder. But my thing is, like I say, again, I know the difference, and I know things have changed a lot because it's not like, you know, that's why cancer is like the new thing now because that's the death sentence. You know, AIDS used to be the death sentence, but ever since Magic Johnson, you know, we know that
He's still alive.
Yeah, man. Magic Johnson is the healthiest person on planet Earth. Okay, like, and I'm not talking about with AIDS or without. He's just period the healthiest person on planet Earth, and that should tell you something. So it is what it is, man.
Well, money runs the world, man. That's got to be common sense number one.
No.
You know, so they say there's a cure to cancer, but just they're not ever going to find it because cancer makes so much money. You know, why find a cure when this is racking in millions of dollars every year just to try to find the cure?
Yeah, this is true. And the funny thing about it is the cure for these things are probably a lot cheaper than the treatments for these things. And I think it's just a level of convenience for people. And it may be more inconvenient to take to do the cure than it is for it's maybe pop some pills and just, you know, live with it.
Yeah. Well, like my mom, she was diagnosed with circulatory cancer at one point, but they had got it before. And so at the time, though, she was freaking out and she had talked to my grandpa. My grandpa actually lives in South America. Like, he's one of those that doesn't believe in the U.S., so you don't live in the U.S. He lives all the way in South America.
Yeah. And
so he was sending her videos on doctors and how to use natural preventatives or whatever. And one of the things he did, the doctor said was cannabis oil, right? And the doctor also said everything that happens, like disease, there's always a natural way to counter-react with that. There's always something natural to fight that.
Yeah.
It's just basic balance in the world.
Yeah.
And so if you really think that, I mean, there's got to be an opposite thing for cancer. Any type of cancer, there's got to be something else that could fight for it, you know, that could try to treat it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the world we live in, man, especially in America, these run by money and run by high class people. This shit was started from the beginning. You can't. It's gonna repeat because it's just how the cycle continues.
I agree.
That's all I got.
Okay. All right, Solis. Well, I appreciate you calling in and sharing your thoughts, man.
No problem, man.
All right, you have a good evening. What's the motherfucking deal? I'm mad about that ringer. Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Hey, it's Belle. It's about damn time.
Hello, Miss Bell. How are you doing, Miss Bell?
Good. You know I hate it when I have to wait in line behind the boys.
It's a man's world. See, we're talking about masculinity and patriarchy. This is what happens.
Are we going to holler at the man's world tonight?
Yes. That's what we on tonight. That's tonight's kick. But how are you, Miss Bell? What's on your mind this evening?
All right, let me run down my list. First of all, Pharrell looked like shit in that sleeping bag. I don't know if y'all saw it. Y'all need to go to the den on Facebook and see it. It's hysterical. It looks just like a sleeping bag. Now, about 80% of the male models are gay. So here's the thing. Pharrell's always been what we would consider fashion forward. However, some things work and some things don't.
Yes.
And a lot of his stuff pushes the envelope. And you have to be strong in your self-worth in order to wear things that other people might not like, whether you're straight or whether you're gay. Now, because of the fact that it's about appearance and it's about what it looks like and not what it actually is, people will take it to be one thing when it might be something else. However, a lot of the alphabet soup community has had such an influence on fashion that everything has become more feminine. Okay? Not just even men's clothes, women's clothes as well. Now, I don't know how much people know about couture, which is like high-end, high-money fashion, which is where Pharrell's financial clothing level is. Most of that stuff is not what everybody across the United States is wearing. It's a very small, elitist group of fashion snobs wear. Does that make more sense?
Yes. No, I get you.
Okay. And one of the pictures, he was looking like Jaden Smith, which is Will Smith's son. And I posted that earlier. And Jaden, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure if it's the daughter or the son or both of them are back and forth. But that's a whole other issue for a whole other night, and I'm not going there. Back to the list. As far as what did you say? The LBGT had their own advent calendar. Is that what that was?
Yeah, basically, it was some stuff going on.
Okay, I will say it like this: I will treat it just like I do Hanukkah, just like I do Chinese New Year. I won't be ignorant of it, but it doesn't apply to me. And I think that that's kind of the same thing. It's like, if you're Jewish, Christmas doesn't apply to you either. So it doesn't mean that you don't respect somebody else's certain religious rituals, but it doesn't mean that you got to get all caught up in their bullshit either. And that's kind of where I'm going with that.
Okay.
You just let me talk on and on tonight, aren't you?
No,
okay.
I'm over here doing some shenanigans in the background, but yes, I'm listening.
Okay. So, kind of got caught off where I was. But as I was saying about the fashion stuff, Pharrell is sort of in his own microcosm because he's not wearing something that you're going to buy off the rack at Walmart or even something that, even though it's GQ, it's high-end. We're talking Gucci. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars per outfit, which is not the average person. Now, as far as the pastels went, I know many a man who's looked great in them, and it doesn't make them look feminine, but sometimes it doesn't make them look any prettier either. It's all about perception when it comes to fashion. And even with women, you all know you can try something on, you can look at something on the rack and it looks like absolute crap. You try it on the dresser room and you're like, damn, I should have had this 5 years ago. And other times it looks great on the hanger and you're like, oh, hell no, that ain't going above the knees. So it's all about perception. It's all about a lot of different things. Now, what I want to say is that male feminism has nothing to do with anything but just how it looks on the outside. That has nothing to do with their sexuality. However, everybody seems to be immersing that. Am I wrong?
Yeah, it's...
Because that's what I'm kind of coming to the conclusion of, is that, all right, Pharrell comes across as very feminine, even though he's a straight guy. And for somebody to wear something that is very effeminate, he's got to have a strong backbone to deal with all the bullshit he's going to get for wearing it.
Yeah, in his article, he admitted that he actually, I'm guessing, I don't know how tall Pharrell is. I'm assuming that he's built like a small woman, because he says that he actually started buying things that were originally designed for women. He says he doesn't do the dresses or the blouses, but he actually can shop in the women's section. So he was buying from Chanel and Celine and some of these other things. And so that's why he wears stuff that's designed for women.
Just because I can buy plaid, tractor trailer truck driver plaid shirts from the local farm store doesn't mean I should. I mean, it's about what you consider your particular fashion style, and that's personal to him. There's so much psychology into all that bullshit. It's far less about sexuality than it is more about psychology. And I'm not even getting into that. Okay, I need to sideline this for a minute. Okay. You said something that I thought was really funny, considering the fact that you're from Texas. You said, well, what about the cows coming home?
Oh.
You're a city guy, okay? Being on the farm and having cows, they put them out to pasture.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they don't worry about them, because if the cow's friggin' hungry, they're going to come home to roost. They're going to come home to eat. So when the cow comes home, it is what it is. That's when the cow gets here, the cow gets here. That's kind of what the saying is,
Oh, okay.
You got to wait on them. You're waiting on them, but when they get here, they get here. You wait until the cows come home is waiting on whoever is going to get there is going to get there.
Okay.
I don't know. You are all over the place with this femininity and masculinity, and to be honest with you, I think femininity and masculinity is more about appearance than it's truly about sexuality. We, as human beings, we tend to dress towards our sexuality, but it doesn't make us completely our sexuality. Now, some women, they put a baseball cap on and certain T-shirts and sneakers, and they look very masculine. That same girl can put on a pair of short shorts and a tank top and looks very feminine. It's all about the outer dressing is the ism. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get what you said. Yes.
Because you've got guys, you've got football players.
Yeah, they're super questionable.
They wouldn't ruin their reputation by wearing a dress.
Oh, shit, you would be surprised.
If they do, most of it is either closeted or it's on the very down low.
I don't know. It's been a couple of them come to game day with.
Okay, I'm not going there.
So.
I'm not going there. But then you have very affluent, or I shouldn't say affluent, very feminine men who embrace their femininity, but they still might be straight. And that's what's the confusing part, is that we're expecting people to dress what we want them to be and stay in the square peg that we've put them in. And that's what people aren't always. They're not always that square peg, and we want to put them in the round hole. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
Because you look at Pharrell and you think, okay, he's possibly gay, definitely a feminine man, but you get to know him and the dude's really got his shit together and he's an alpha male, but he's just not strong on the male hormones. You know, you meet somebody else. We'll use Beyonce. I know I'm going to get a beehive bullshit, but I don't care. She comes across as extremely feminine. But who knows, behind the scene, Jay-Z can be, you know, holding all the strings, and she can be yes sir, no sir. You don't know these things because it's what is put on in public and what's to represent out in public.
Yeah.
It's not all of them. It's the window dressing. Clothing is the window dressing. And I can't say that enough.
Yeah,
Think about it. You have people that work in uniforms.
Yeah, and that's what I said. I'm a firm believer that, you know, clothing can be extremely deceptive, but I think when you have the option to choose certain things and you have a habit of looking a certain way, and then even, like I said, not even just Pharrell, some of these younger, newer age entertainers, they cross these lines, and it looks very questionable, I guess, the traditional things that we've been used to seeing. And now, you know, it's just like,
Okay, well, every generation has it. Back in my generation, actually, your generation was probably like Seattle Sound and grunge. Because you may even be a little bit young for that, too. But even before that was, I can't even think. But every generation, I mean, you get the hippies of the 70s. You've got, I mean, every single generation has that outlier that does not look or act or behave the way we expect society to. But underneath, they either really have their shit together or they really don't. But because we can't really tell what is truth, we second guess it. You know? I will say this, though, is that I think people have been amazed that there are far more female models than there are straight models. And that was always an assumption that they were straight. And that made a difference, too, because being a mouthpiece within fashion. And you're letting me run on again.
Because I think the whole fashion thing is just, it's an industry that's just questionable in itself. So I don't care what you mean, whatever you're wearing in fashion. If you're in the fashion industry, I have questions about the questionable industry.
I will tell you this, as somebody who was in the fashion industry for a really long time, there is a lot of high-end, very expensive female wear that no woman should even bother wearing. It's more art pieces than it's actually clothing. And that's the thing. It's a elitist kind of group of people with a lot of money in that particular pocket. And it doesn't get talked about a lot, but they're the ones that once their fashions come out and they're cut down and they're brought down, that's actually how everyday fashion comes out of the extremes of those. But they take those and they bring it down to what people will be willing to buy and what they're willing to do for cost. And that's how the patterns are changed. Because the original ideas are overpriced and not usually anything that anybody wants to wear on a regular basis.
So nobody wants to wear Kanye's homeless shirts?
No.
I was thinking about getting me one. Darn it.
Well, okay, you probably could, but you know, the majority of us probably don't. And that's not a bad thing. It is what it is. And the thing is what in the Kardashian world of fashion, most of the time, that's just a social mingle. They have the fashion show to, I don't know. I don't want to get into that tonight. Anyway. What were some of the other things? Because I just want to finish up real quick. Because you had quite a few on the masculine and feminine thing.
We talked about masculinity. You mentioned the pronouns.
Okay, I have whatever straight people have, which is, I guess, he, she, and her. I don't know, whatever that normal is for straight people.
I don't know. I think people get mad. Yeah, I mean, it's who knows nowadays. I think people get mad about that if you have regular pronouns. So, but yeah, I mean, that's my pronouns are that guy and
Being straight
Honcho.
is not normal anymore. I'm sorry, I just talked over you. Being straight is not normal anymore. I wish it was, but it seems like we're becoming the vast minority. And I have no problem with anybody with theirs, just don't push it on what's mine.
Word, I agree.
You know, I don't judge anybody else, but it doesn't mean I don't have an opinion on it. And it's never meant to offend, it's just meant as an observation. And the other thing, this is my last but least, the more I learn, the less I know.
I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that.
And that's my end of the lesson for today. So hopefully we'll stay busy and it'll be a good show, the rest of the show.
All right. Well, Miss Bell, as you know, the class is in session. The bell has rung, and I appreciate you calling in.
All right. Night.
You have a good evening. I've been trying to sneak in to fix that thing, so I apologize for the ring. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Hey man, it's Elise. I just wanted to say about the alpha male and beta male thing, because I just heard one too many people say about that. That's not real.
Okay.
That's a social construct.
Okay.
That is not real at all. So there's no such thing as an alpha and beta, because you can just look at the basis for people. You could be a strong leader, but you don't got to get your hands dirty. Does that make you an alpha person? You could arguably say the person that's getting their hands dirty is an alpha person, besides the leader that's talking. You know what I mean?
So, what do you think is a better identifier instead of using alpha and beta to identify these individuals?
The closest thing I'll probably think of are leaders and followers. Right? Like, let's say Hitler, right? Let's just take him for an example, because people followed him, right?
Yeah.
So let's say he's an alpha because he had a power of words. So he had soldiers to do what he wanted to do, right? To invade Poland and other parts of Europe. You could say the generals below him that were leading the army were more alpha than him. They were trying, there's a lot of arguments you could say. But I think at the end of the day, you have leaders and followers. It's not no alpha and beta.
I agree. I could agree with that. I mean, because I have my whole premise with the alpha and beta thing too, because especially now that it's become so saturated in the conversation that people swear that they can teach people how to be alphas and doing all. But if someone is teaching you how to be an alpha, I think it's a natural thing. If somebody's teaching you do this and you got to do this and you got to do this, and then now you're an alpha. Well, aren't you really just the beta who's imitating an alpha? I mean, because you are following somebody, you're taking their word. I think an alpha would stand on their own too. So it might not even be the traditional, or if we're using this terminology, wouldn't even be the traditional terms in which we're saying, but somebody who's willing to go out and kind of pave their own way, do things that others wouldn't. As opposed to, like you said, so it's an innovator instead of a follower. So I could agree with you on that.
Yeah. Okay. But I don't know, like, it's really confusing why people have these social constructs that, granted they've been, used for so long, it's like a part of it's a normal thing to people, but people have to understand it's a social construct.
But are social constructs necessarily bad?
Not at times, I'm sure. There's like social constructs like gender roles. I mean, there's females that believe in gender roles. Like, I believe a man should do this, and this for a woman. I believe that you should ask a woman. There's stuff that like I want you to feel more dominant, make me feel in place. Like, that's what some women feel, right? But then you have women that are just dominant and the opposite of that, and want to be in charge. And so I just really think it's based on the makeup of a person, their character, more than anything else. It's just someone's character.
Okay. All right, that's very interesting. That's interesting. Those first kind of chicks you described, you gotta choke them in bed a little bit. They like that kind of stuff. I'm going way off track, but I'm just talking shit. But no, but I definitely agree with you. I mean, it's different people, different strokes for different folks, and I think part of us, especially being human, we try to lump things in categories to make it easier for us to process as people. But I think it gets a little bit deeper than that. I think once you kind of get past a lot of the surface level shit, there's better explanations for things. But I think we're talking in big generalities. I think people just like lumping shit together. So I think that's where you get the idea of an alpha or a beta. I think that's more of a behavior description than maybe an identifier of individuals and who they really are. But I get what you're saying, though. I definitely get what you're saying.
Yeah, man. That was really the biggest pet peeve I had, because I heard the other dude say that before about alpha. Like, nah, that's just not real.
Okay. All right. I can rock with that. All right. Anything else you'd like to add there, Solis?
Nah, man. Go ahead for the next person.
All right. Well, I appreciate you calling back and clarifying that. All right. There we go. Hey, yo. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Oh, this is Miss Grace. How are you?
How are you doing, Miss Grace? It's good to hear from you. Hi.
Okay, here we go.
Right.
How you doing, Honcho?
I'm doing good, Miss Grace. Especially now that you've called and I get to hear from my lovely Miss Grace. I'm doing that soon.
Thank you. Did you get my text with that picture I sent you?
Did
it better?
I got the message. I don't know if the service lets me get the pictures. Or again, I don't know if I'm still having some issues. I saw the words, but I didn't get a picture with it. So I did get the words.
And I sent it in text, and then I sent it to denshowlive@gmail.com.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out. I'll look on the email then. Absolutely.
So that these people in the chat can quit talking shit, because they talk about us, all the ones that we're in freaking what are those little things that you ride around the supermarkets in?
The little scooter things.
Yeah, the little scooter things. I mean, they talk about menopause in the chat. I mean, if Rashida or Belle or myself or who's the one that likes football that you always go back and forth with, Miss Meat, they say, whose auntie is that? Their asses.
Miss Meat is a terrible person because she's an Atlanta fan.
I have deep affection for so many people in the den, except for maybe one or two. But anyway, they're making men more feminine, but at the same time, they're making women more masculine. Women are, dressing like they're guys. They're cutting their hair like they're guys. And if a woman wants to be too feminine, she's frowned upon, particularly, funny it is, by other women.
Yes.
Yeah, remember I talked about that jealousy thing, and I was at the gym yesterday morning talking about it with, my instructor. I said, when a woman has a man that affords her to be able to stay home and care for the home and the children, it's other women that get jealous of those kinds of women.
This is true.
Because really, most women, they go out of the house to work, but most of them would prefer to spend a bit more time at home running the household and take care of the kids. You want to get away from the kids because they can drive you bonkers. You know what I mean? But they would rather spend more time at home, and they're very jealous of the ones that get to do that. So shout out to all the guys, all the men that can afford, for their women to be home. Like Belle said, the woman is the soul of the home. And that's why I don't believe even women running for president, especially in this country, because if a woman becomes the president in this country, not only is she going to run the United States of America, she's going to have her hands in every other country, the stars, moon, all the planets and everything, and that's just too much. There's no way that she can do that and able to run the household, take care of the children, and be the kind of mother that God intended. No way she can do that. So let the men get out there and do that. You know what I mean? Because a visible target, the easy target to hit. So let the man get out there and do it. You know what I mean? Because if something happens to the man and he can't run the household and he can't take care of the children, you know what I mean? The woman will make sure that that's still getting done. But if a woman's out there, you know what I mean, and something happens to her and she can't take care of the children, his legacy does not even continue. Not even to mention his last name, his legacy won't even continue. I mean, that's too much of a sacrifice. You know what I mean? To make, to sit and sacrifice our children to be outside the household trying to do everything else. You know what I mean? When kids, if a woman becomes president, can you imagine, you know what I mean, kids being sent off to like boarding school and things? When you interview those kinds of kids, you mean they always say that they wish that they spent more time at home with their parents, namely their mother. And when parents are on their deathbeds, I mean, what do they regret? They wish they could spend more time. They wish they could spend more time with their children. And because once those memories are gone, they're gone forever. You mean so that these women are getting pushed out there, and and look at the women that are running for president. Look how they're dressed. They look like dudes. Yet one has a little bit of hair, but as time goes on, they start chopping more and more of that hair off, and they're having them look like men. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? And we women are our own worst enemies. Down for women that are too feminine. You mean we're dogging out other women? We're at. You guys don't even do it like we women do. I don't, but a lot of women do it that way. You know what I mean? So that's all pretty much what I had to say. What's that going? Who was it? The other day, Trill had mentioned women not buying lingerie or something. Did he mention that? I think it was him. Yes, he did. You know what I mean? And he said women not going to like Victoria's Secret.
Yes.
One of the reasons is because brick and mortar stores aren't popular anymore because everyone's buying things online. You mean, and women don't have to buy that many bras anymore because they're getting boob jobs. Think about it. So they don't need the bras. Not as much. Yeah, but they're doing the triangle bras, but those push-up bras that were once so popular, anybody that wanted their boobs sitting up like that there just went and got a boob job. You mean they're still, you mean, so tell Trill that it's still up. You know, they're still spending money. You know what I mean? They're buying more shapewear. I mean, that's so popular. I mean, so they're still making money in that field, you know what I mean, but they're spending it in different, it's a very big business still. I mean, and if you're really cool like that, you can afford La Perla. Have you heard of La Perla?
I'm not sure what is La Perla.
La Perla is like the top of the line of lingerie and bras and panties. You mean they're like $150, $250 a piece.
Oh, no.
I mean, that's La Perla.
They're going to stay
You know what I mean?
La Put, wherever they at.
Victoria's Secret, that's small potatoes. You mean La Perla, and women are making more money, and they can afford some of those other things. So Victoria's Secret isn't where it's at anymore. Okay? So I'm going to hang up so I can listen to other people so I can read these damn chats with that disrespectful big little M.
Yeah, well, you know, he's an illegal, so he says illegal things. But
I'm glad Rashida told him something about climbing over the wall or some bullshit. I couldn't believe she said that.
I must have missed that. That's funny.
Yeah, she did. Okay, but I'm going to listen to the rest. I have a busy day tomorrow.
All right, Miss Grace. Well, I appreciate you calling in, and it's good to hear your voice.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. I always love hearing from Miss Grace. The rest of y'all, not so much. But I think we fixed it. All right. I think the ring should be quieter now because that freaking ringtone was getting me. And I'm joking. I do love hearing from all of y'all. So here's the thing, though. That's interesting. That's a very good point that she made. Is that right now? I mean, has surgery just become cheaper than it used to be? Because I know it used to be kind of like a special thing. I would say maybe late '90s, or earlier 2000s. Now I guess maybe is it easier access? Is it cheaper? Is it like covered by insurance or something? Like like this. This is a great picture. This is Kim Jong-un riding a horse, and if you don't respect the great leader, then you just don't respect the den. Integrity weed. But but my thing is like, it's a very good point because everybody, they got payment flow. They people putting titties on layaway. You look like I can't even fuck with you, girl. You can't even pay these titties off. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening? Who this is? Who this is? Oh, this P? Yeah, this P. P, let me hear you say, We got beef? All right, well, pull up there, man. What's on your mind? And, we can do this thing. But yes, Miss, I'm doing excellent, Miss Rashida. What is on your mind this evening?
The crowd, but shit, they was men.
Miss Rashida, I gotta tell you something. I gotta tell you something extremely important.
Okay.
I Romaned you there for a little bit, and
Okay.
so if you would like to repeat that statement you just made for me, I would greatly appreciate it.
Okay, I said back in my day that men, they were strong and wrong, but they were strong.
Okay. So you tell me you didn't like any of Pharrell's outfits, any of those pictures that I put up there? You didn't like?
No, I did.
What? Not a one. Not
He's
even.
always been weird.
Okay. I mean, you wouldn't
He's
even.
always been weird.
You wouldn't even wear
I
none of
don't
those for
think
yourself?
he's necessarily gay. I don't think he's gay. I think he's weird, and there's a difference there.
Okay.
He thinks he's a fashionista. You know what I'm saying? He thinks he's on the cutting trend, and people are gonna be dressed. Well, I don't know if he wants people to dress like him. He just want to be different. You know what I'm saying? So he thinks he's stylish. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell him nothing. A lot of times people wear expensive shit thinking they doing it, but they really just looking like a clown.
Okay.
Like if they wear some expensive ass, let's say Gucci shoes, the shit looks horrible. But then they'll be like, but this Gucci, you can't afford it. Like, you shouldn't have afforded it either. You should have left that shit in the store where you bought it. You know what I'm saying?
What? You ain't with
You spend $3,000 on some shoes to look like a damn clown.
Man, some of them jackets they was talking about it because they had the prices on them in the little Gucci. I mean, the Gucci and the GQ magazine. Some of those were $8,000, $9,000 jackets, and I'm just like, how and why? There's no way. I couldn't
Because they don't make that many of them. So if you get one, excuse me, sometimes people just buy things because of the rarity. Excuse me.
You sound like me over here.
Smoking or something. I don't know what's going on.
It ain't January yet. What you on? What you got going on?
Like, I ain't smoking on nothing. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, because of the rarity of it, like, Gucci only made like 10 of those jackets, so you get one, you got a masterpiece for your closet. Because it's just strange,
Okay. So, like I said, yeah, I agree with you. I don't think Pharrell is a culprit. I think he's just different. Like you said, he's always been that way. So I'm not gonna fault him too much for his oddities, but I don't think he's the new representation of masculinity. But what do you think is changing this? What do you think is changing the conversation from men expected to, stand up, be leaders, be protectors, represent their household, to appear at least as I won't say a potential threat, but as a protector? Because you look at some of the stuff dudes are wearing nowadays. You can't tell nowadays. There's some weirdos. It's some real like that. Who's that little kid? That TK kid. TK looks like a peon. Okay. And this nigga out here shooting everybody in their mom. TK looks like a little nigga we would bully back in the day. And this nigga just shot everybody in their mama. But that's another thing. But why do you think what has changed the image?
I think a lot of times the image that the young people follow is set by the people by the music they listen to, and the transgender, not the transgenders, but like the rappers and stuff, they look so feminine and all this kind of stuff, and they follow behind those images, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
So, like, remember back in the day when we listened to NWA and we listened to, you know, Tupac and all that stuff, and then you saw the clothing that the people, that the young men wore with the big clothes, you know, they would emulate the rappers that was out then.
Yeah.
But now, these rappers, you got Slim Thug and all, you got rappers wearing nail polish. And,
hold on, whoa, Slim Thug, what Slim Thug get put in this? Let's not confuse our thugs here. All right.
Well, look at that feminine thug. I don't know shit. It's too many damn thugs.
It's a feminine thug. It's the young thug. Slim Thug been holding it. Look, Slim Thug been around since the tall teaching. Now he on something a little different with that whole sugar daddy Slim thing he got going on. But I ain't even mad at him for that.
You know what? Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, it wasn't even no thug I was thinking about. It was the guy that was dating Amber Rose, Wiz Khalifa. That's the one I was the head in my man. I don't know where I came up with no Slim Thug yet. But yeah, just the image, you know, it has changed for the music and the people that they listen to. So they being influenced by that, you know. So.
Okay.
But I don't give a shit who I listen to. That don't mean I'm gonna dress like them. That's just doing too much.
Yeah, you say that, but then you be jamming that Cardi B. We know how you be behind closed doors. You be, you got that little blue strip.
I don't even hardly like Cardi B. I don't know why people so in love with her. To me, she like a C at best. You know, she mildly talented. She not like one of the greats. You know. So,
yeah, but you got that little.
Hear about when he made his list and he didn't put Nicki Minaj on there for the top 50. People was upset with him. Like, how dare you not put her on the? He don't have to put her on his list if you don't want her on his list.
Yeah, you know, maybe people be talking about.
Yeah.
And they were talking about, she better than a whole bunch of people. Say, yeah, 'cause she wasn't even battling female rappers. She was challenging men. Right. Nicki is overrated, and I don't care who feel whatever way about it. Yeah, I said it. I'll say it again. Nicki Minaj is overrated.
Over plastic surgery. This time they ain't even no word, but over plastic surgery. Y'all know what I mean. Shit. You know. Too much plastic.
Yeah. Kenneth,
but then again, Ms. Grace, I agreed. Everything you said on your call, you were 100% on the money. These men are becoming too feminine, and the women becoming too masculine. Yep.
So how much La Perla you got?
Huh?
So how much La Perla you got?
What is that?
She was talking about the high class lingerie, La Perla.
Oh shit! I don't know shit about that. I guess I'm one of them people. Ain't discovered Victoria's Secret, even though they say Victoria's Secret was a man. So I don't know. That's crazy.
I don't want to know any more secrets. I know enough secrets.
Yeah.
But one of them, they got mad because they put one of them dudes into, or they was mad because they wouldn't have a transgender Victoria's Secret model. Then I think they went ahead and did one. So I don't know. Yeah, I better stop. Embracing them catalogs that y'all enjoy so much. So
I guess they got to create the transgender underwear where they can tuck it and won't fall out. I don't know. Maybe they put a rubber band in the crotch area so they can slide their fingers or something. Hold it down.
That is TMI.
Well, they got to tuck it some kind of way. Shit.
Man, let them figure those problems out. I'm gonna let it hang. I ain't with the tucking. I mean, that's a whole different set of circumstances that some very affordable. Like, I don't even know, man. It's just a crazy world.
I ain't gonna discuss that with you because I know how you are. So we gonna move along.
What does that mean? Y'all like see people come acting like I'm homophobic, like I'm
No, it's not that you're homophobic, but I remember when I was talking about the anal beads, and you tried to say I ruined the whole conversation for that Den show. So I'm not trying to do that this time.
So let's move on. Let's talk about these pronoun holidays. Have you picked your pronouns?
I didn't even know it was pronoun day, but I'm whatever straight women are. That's what you call it.
Okay. I don't even know what they picking these days.
You know what I want to bring up for my last point?
What's that?
It's about Dwayne Wade's son.
Oh,
now
man.
he coming out as transgender girl. Now, when are we gonna stop the bullshit with this young man, girl?
When we stop giving them attention?
Yeah, stop using this young man to push the LGBTQRS. I don't know shit. Too many damn letters now. Stop using him to push the agenda, because he's not in the world where a regular gay person is. He's like a rich gay person. He's not gonna have the same experience. You gonna have these young people following up behind him, coming out every letter. Oh yes, I'm gay too. And then they ask gonna get bullied in school and everything. Just stop the nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not living that same life as your child. And then your child come out and then he get bullied. Now he's depressed and everything, because he thought it was gonna go a different way, you know.
Yeah, and that's what people don't realize, and that's what kills me with a lot of these celebrities who push all this shit. You can afford to do this nonsense. These kids that are living in reality are gonna have a different experience.
In a private school, probably in a private school. You know what I'm saying? He's not subject to being around, people that, don't give a shit,
And the thing is, you can get special treatment because they know, that's a celebrity's kid or whatever. So even they not gonna show their true feelings or whatever else. So like with these kids who just some old random kids, shit, they gonna let them have it. All that shit is terrible.
How many random kids you think he's gonna be around anyway? His circle is not the same as a regular gay kid circle.
Oh man, yeah.
About his parents having so much money, you know what I'm saying? He probably hangs with elite circle.
Ooh.
So I don't know. It just seems like they just using him and he just, I don't know if he enjoying it or whatever. I don't know. It's sad to exploit your child like this.
Yeah, it's attention for him. Just think about it. Everybody else in that family gets some level of attention. Your stepmom is a celebrity. Your dad's a celebrity. Your brother's up and coming athlete. You're a gay kid. That's his special power. But he's getting just as much attention as anybody else, and that's what I'm saying. And that's what they're. Again, when we stop it, I'm not gonna say this. I'm not saying attack them. I'm not saying harass them. I'm not saying all this stuff that y'all be trying to say. I be saying, but all I'm saying is stop giving it unnecessary attention. There's no point.
Right, like making him proud to be,
Yeah, if we're supposed to normalize it and respect it like everybody else.
You are what you are. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you shouldn't be proud of it, but don't make that his life and his mission to go and be the face of the LGBT community. He needs to develop who he is as a person and learn himself. You know what I'm saying? Herself, whatever. Your identity shouldn't be that tied to your sexuality. You should know who you want to be, Crazy.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if we start treating them normal like you treat every other normal kid, guess what? There are no straight kids get attention for being straight. So if you want to treat them normal, if you want to normalize it, then treat them just like everybody else and ignore that bullshit. And then you feel like everybody else. But when you're giving this special attention, they're gay or they're transgender or something, you're not special because of that. If it's normal, if you say like the LGBT, if you say it's normal, if you say it's a part of life, it's just a certain. But then if it's normal, then stop wanting credit just for being that. What are you, a scientist? Or are you I don't want to talk about athletes because they're taking all the women's roles in the athletics, but it's just like stop rewarding basic behavior and then see. Then once people see that, guess what? We're not giving them attention just for nothing. They gonna stop it. That shit ain't gonna be cool no more. It'll be something else.
Right. It's double talk, really, if you think about it. Like being gay is normal. If it's normal, then why you want to be recognized for it? Why do you have to come out the closet and let everybody know you gay? People don't announce that they straight.
Yeah. I'm finna like on all these days we finna. But see, that's the funny thing because you listed all those days. I don't know if you heard all the days that I listed that they have for various LGBT whatever days. So with all those days, with all those recognitions, and they get mad because plus all the prides everywhere around the country and everything else. You get mad when they have a straight pride parade. Like what's wrong with that's intolerance right there. That's the crazy stuff to me. Like I don't understand. You know. Be who you are. Be whatever you do.
Everybody should be proud to be whoever you are. You know, I don't have no issue with people being gay. If you gay, you gay. You know, I wouldn't necessarily want my child to be gay, and I don't give a fuck who don't like it. No, I don't want no gay child. So it is what it is. Now that might sound very homophobic. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So, and I think that's why a lot of people be saying stuff to me when I make some kind of comments. But I don't care, you know, shit, that's my opinion. That don't mean I have nothing against gay people, you know.
It's just your personal preference. There's nothing wrong with preference. It's funny that preference becomes an issue.
The sad thing is that a lot of people, not a lot, but some people feel that way and it's scared to voice their opinion because they don't want to be labeled as something.
I am dying. This is funny stuff to me. This is sweet. And I agree. That's the thing, man. And again, like I think people should be able to voice their opinions and say what they want to say. But people really get mad.
We can agree to disagree.
Yes. I agree to disagree with you on
that. If I did have it, I'm saying I don't want it. That's not the same thing as saying that if I had a gay child, I wouldn't want a child. You know what I mean? I would love them just the same and treat them just the same.
I agree because it would be the same way, you know, as certain people say, well, you know, if I have a kid, I'd prefer to have a son over a daughter. You know, it's a different set of problems that come with that. They may be more well equipped to handle a certain child better. They may feel like they're better to handle a certain child than the other. I don't think anything is wrong with having a preference or having in any level, whether it's you have a preference in partner, a preference in fucking food, a preference in anything. But as soon as you're not agreeing with certain people, you become this bad person. You become this oppressor, or you're a hater, or you are phobic, or whatever the fuck they want to call it. I don't think it's really any of that stuff.
And people, they have the nerve to tell you how to raise a child that's in your home. Like if they talking about what you let your 10-year-old son wear makeup and a dress, and you say no. Oh, you're homophobic. He's not gonna be happy. Well, he just gonna have to sit his unhappy ass up there with no makeup and no dress on. He'll be okay. God damn it, we going to the mall to get him some boy clothes. He ain't wearing no damn makeup. It's the same thing if I had a 10-year-old girl, she wouldn't be wearing no makeup.
Jeremy.
You know, I think at certain ages that you allow certain things to you know, go on. It's too many people want to raise the kids in other people's house.
No, I agree.
You wanna have your 10-year-old son wearing makeup and a dress and putting him in a show, drag show. That's your business. But don't tell me what I can do. I have to do for mine. You ain't paying for them.
Yeah, and that's the crazy stuff. Like that's normal to people. When most kids don't want to do that, have no interest in doing that, put that goddamn kid in a sports league or do something. Have them do something constructive that will benefit them in the long run. Instead of you putting them in there around their attention, you putting them in gay bars for adults, having them dress and drag and do all this weirdo shit. And you telling me that's normal? But again, this is the society that we live in. This is the.
And, what else I was gonna say? Yeah, it's like people want to run your household. You ain't paying damn bill over here. If you want little Billy or little John to do all that, you can't pay this rent and these bills. I'll have to put it in there. No. And it's too many people. It's too many people that just I don't know what's wrong with kids run the house. Oh, he said he wants to wear a dress and he wants to wear makeup. So what if he want to buy a lion and a tiger? You gonna do that too?
Shit, they're gonna put them extra hours in at work. But that's what I say. You know, we got this epidemic of people want to be friends with the kids. They want to be buddy with the kids. Like, look, I'm a firm believer that kids have a place, adults have a place. Some people don't like it. Well, you know, it is what it is. I think that you have to be an example for them. If you letting them run shit from 3, 4, 5 years old, they ain't gonna ever know shit. They ain't gonna ever figure shit out.
Just because they might be gay or something, you think that they give them the right to make decisions that they shouldn't be making at that age? That's false. I would treat a gay kid the same way as I treat a straight kid. You ain't making no damn decision until you 18. Period. I'm gonna make your decisions for you. You just gonna be unhappy, but you will be okay. You ain't gonna run away. You ain't gonna do nothing like that. So, hey, we gonna figure this out together. So.
I agree.
Well, we ain't gonna figure out shit. I'm gonna tell you what you gonna do and what you ain't gonna do, and that's that.
Yeah, pretty much. That actually reminds me of something interesting I'm gonna talk about here in just a second. Because like I say, you gotta put your foot down, and people just I don't know why people be afraid to do this.
Being a parent to guide your child. Your child not supposed to guide you.
Yeah.
A 3-year-old telling you they gay and wanna get on hormones. No, I don't think so.
And then you saw that now they just talking about like a bunch of hundreds of kids that underwent that surgery, reassignment, put on hormones, all of that stuff. Now they trying to reverse the process and everything because again, like I say,
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, this is the
you
one.
letting them make them decisions when they under 18. Then when they get older, they regret it. They was just confused. You know, that's what we do. Let them make them a permanent decision until they actually grown and experience the world or something. Yeah. Stop trying to label yourself at 10 years old as being gay. You don't know what you are.
Yeah, exactly.
Or 11 or transgender. You don't know what you are.
I agree.
There's people that don't even come out as gay until they way late in life. Or they, whatever,
After they win some Olympics.
So how you 10 years old gonna decide your whole sexuality and existence? You only lived on this earth for 10 years or 11 years. You don't even have the experience necessary to make that kind of decision.
And that's the thing, but that's what, that's why the kids, so they throw it off now. Okay, here we go. Let me put this in. When was this? Take it, Miss Grace. I'm intrigued. All right.
What is it?
It's a photo. I'm gonna pull it up so everybody can see. She said Pharrell stole her look. So we gonna see. I'm gonna put it in there for everybody to see. Interesting. Yeah, I like look at Miss Grace looking classy and sassy.
Go ahead on, Miss Grace.
Fucking Heidi. Okay, but I agree, man. Like you gotta put your foot down when it comes to the kid. That's why the kids running rampant now. They say anything. Like it even gets to the point. Like I say, I noticed the little one. She did. Like I said, I don't know what they had to have a little stern conversation with her the other day. So I don't know what them other little kids you get to hang around with or however they be talking around other individuals. But you don't get them same privileges. It don't work like that because you try to get to the point where she get a little attitude here and there and all that. Like, I don't give a shit about your little attitude. This is what's going to shake. This is how it's going down, and this is how it's going to be. Whether you like it or not, it's not about you enjoying it. It's about what you're going to learn. It's about the discipline you're going to develop, then the habits you're going to develop, and, this is just how it's going to be. I don't care if they talk back. That shit is going to get you in a world of trouble, and it's going to be very uncomfortable for you. So, they may be able to get away with it. Everybody don't get the same situations when they go home. So that's just kind of how the world is. You're going to learn it the hard way. So you better stick to what you know and quit imitating and emulating. So I don't know. See, I put this up, and this is a very nice picture. But next thing you know, you're going to see DeMarque wearing that same thing. So, he a copycat. He's a young fashionista in training. Okay. But
I had a little situation earlier. I said that was the last thing, but I had a little situation earlier, and I just want to run that by you right quick.
Okay, what you got there?
Okay, it happened on Facebook. I called a person loosely a friend, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they made a post about, because they sell high-end items or whatever, And usually, they sell like high-end men's suits or whatever. And they had decided that they was going to start taking like, let's say 60% deposits instead of charging the whole amount, 'cause that's what they normally do, charge the whole amount before they, make the suit. Because, it's custom ordered.
Okay.
And I said that, well, your suits are expensive for the average person. Maybe you should consider like a layaway plan or something like that. Until they meet the 65%, and then you start to order. What I say that for? He got upset. He was like, my suits ain't too expensive for the average person. That kind of person wouldn't be my customer then. And I was like, what'd I say?
Well,
like you asked for an opinion. You asked for an opinion, and you were just trying to get my opinion. And I don't know. Like, I was just attacked. And I don't understand what I said that was wrong. Maybe you can shed some light on what did I say?
Well,
that was wrong.
I think that this person they take pride in their work, and
Well, a $400 suit is expensive when like the average man don't even hardly wear suits unless they like in a profession.
Well, I don't know if $400 for a suit. Especially being custom made. I don't know if it's necessarily expensive. I guess you want a nice suit. If they're nice suits, I don't think $400 is that bad. I just think that, if the guy does a good job, and he wants to operate in that fashion, there's nothing wrong with it.
But it's not that I wanted him to change his price, though. I'm just saying for that amount of money, no matter what it was, average person would more so want to pay for that over time. That's what my point was. I wasn't saying change the price because I think that's a good price, but for expecting a person just to have that amount all at once,
I think you got to look at it, because it's from the business side. I would look at it like, appreciate the love 335. That with him getting the work done, and then you just kind of sitting on it. I think it's part of his. Hey, I've done the job. I want to get the money. So either I'm gonna deal with people who kind of got it like that. He wasn't started
until he got that amount. He wasn't started until he got the deposit amount anyway. Even if you are putting it on layaway. That's what I said.
So you're saying like even let him pay on layaway until it gets to that 65%. Then when it's at that 65%, okay.
Then you start the order.
Okay.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. I guess you can see it like that, because then even after that, you got to look at it. Well, if it takes him several, payments or increments to get to that 65%, now how much longer am I going to be waiting after that? When opposed to say somebody come and drop 65 altogether here, I know that it's going to be less likely that they're going to bullshit with that other 35, and then I'm going to have to wait for that other 35 because they've already committed a certain amount to getting it. And I'm not saying that the other person won't. They may just take a little bit longer to pay. I'm just looking at it from the aspect of, hey, if I've done the job and I'm already done with it, I'm more likely to get paid faster by, somebody with that other percent. I don't think what you said is necessarily wrong. But again, people take, if he takes a certain level of pride in his work, I think that you got to look at cost and things on his end. So not knowing, what material and time and labor and everything that goes into that is going to run. I couldn't say if he's being too expensive or not, but I don't think just $400 is necessarily just bad for a custom made suit. So it's been a while since I've really rocked a suit like that, but I don't think that they're as prevalent these days as they used to be. It used to be the thing was to wear a suit, but I think if he has a solid clientele, I don't think it's that bad.
He don't, obviously, because he's always on there talking about some black people don't support his business and all this and that. That's why he's trying to change his model to get more business. Maybe if he listens to him. And I also told him he should think about updating his suits, to have like accents of, like African print on it, and different kind of, like on the lapel and the like the little things.
Yeah.
Just something different. Because black men, y'all kind of, I don't want to say flashy, but y'all, how y'all are,
Yeah, now I feel attacked. Now I feel like I've been labeled and attacked. This is I'm feeling oppressed right now. I've been labeled, grouped, identified, profiled, all of those things. No, but I mean, I guess like if you maybe you could add some things to spice it up. I think it's just it's tough because again, especially you talking about suits. And then if you're targeting primarily a black customer base, I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult unless you're talking about brown prom season or something like that, But
no, he's just looking like the average black man, or that he's black, So
is it an older guy?
I'm just trying to give him ideas, Yeah.
Is it an older gentleman who does this?
No, he's about like 40, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I think just that demographic. That demographic is just interesting. I think if you're gonna try to sustain some business, does he work out of his home? Does he have a brick and mortar location, or like how does he?
No, he doesn't. He just works out of his home.
Okay, it just seemed like it would be a little difficult to get that. Rolling. So.
I just feel like he asked me for an opinion, so he really don't want no opinion. But maybe he didn't want my opinion because I'm a woman. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it be like that, because I know I bring good ideas for people.
Yeah, I don't think nothing wrong with that. I don't think anything wrong with what you said. Like I say, like you said, some people do ask for advice and might not take it. But again, I think that when you're talking about that may not be a bad idea. Again, if you're trying to bring in more clientele, you set up some type of payment plan, or even if you do something where it's like, or you come with $100 every time or something, maybe not, something a little bit more reasonable. If it's a $400 suit or whatever you got going on, depending on what customizations you want.
I'm not saying pay this man $20 a month. I'm not.
Yeah. No.
What you saying? Oh, I ain't saying it like that. How people have stuff on layaway so long they just remember it. I'm not talking about it like that, but and then he make like shoes too, but
word.
I don't be wanting to hurt his feelings. Shoes was awful, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's just
I don't comment on that. That the shoes ain't hot. They look homemade.
Oh, damn. I was going to order me some custom honchos, man. Shit. God damn.
I wouldn't even do you like that.
Damn, that's tough. That's tough. Okay.
Your shoes tough. Shit. One of the shoes, like a men's dress shoe, he had fur on it.
Oh. Like that?
Yeah, around where you put your feet at. Yeah, he had fur around it.
Oh. Okay.
Looking like Sasquatch. No.
Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna chill on that. Yeah, I'm cool on the fur feet. I can do without.
Right, his shoes is like $300 too,
Yeah. Man, I'm finna go get me some eel skin. Give me some boots. Give me some gators on them haters. Might be. What you mean? Might be the party just getting started, man. Talking about past the bedtime.
But you know what? A lot of times people that designers and stuff, they don't like to listen. They design stuff that they like instead of designing stuff for your customers.
Yeah.
That's why I think a lot of them go wrong.
Yes.
You have to listen to what people say. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to take constructive criticism. I think a lot of times people don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I think that's the issue. Either you got to be very, very unique in something. I mean, you just got to like do something that nobody else is doing. But if you along the same lines as what most people are capable of, then you gotta, it's about customer service is key. Customer service is the number one thing.
Exactly.
And so some people don't see it that way. Some people do. So.
And this my last point right here for real, y'all. And then, like, when they in business, they want to compare themselves to Louis and Gucci. And y'all don't complain about those prices. But first of all, you ain't earned that reputation to get that price. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody know you unknown. So for you to sit up there and say your product is worth this and your product is worth that, you need to put some time in and earn that name, and earn that reputation. Gucci didn't just start out as Gucci. You know what I'm saying? Gucci earned their reputation for having good quality products. You know what I'm saying? Earn your reputation and earn your price.
I agree. You gotta put in the work to get there, man. You gotta put in the work to get there.
And that's what they want to do. They want a shortcut to success. And ain't no shortcut to success. Put in your work and stop trying to compare yourself to other people to get sympathy. Because I don't ride like that. I don't feel sorry for you. Do your work. I'm gonna say, do your work.
Yeah. Like
I always trying to play the black card. Well, y'all don't say this about that. Well, oh well.
Yeah.
They get on my nerves with this shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You gotta put in a few centuries of work to to catch up with Louis Vuitton. So, you better get on your grizzly. But yeah, like I say, man, it is what it is. And again, like I say, a lot of that is, part of it is customer service. People don't want to look at what they're doing. Just because you black people are not going to automatically just buy your stuff. Oh, it's a black person making stuff, let me just throw my money at them. It don't work like that.
Buy your stuff that they don't need. The average man that ain't in a professional setting don't really need no expensive suit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if he don't want to call it expensive, even though he say his suits are luxury suits, but he don't want to call it expensive. Okay, all right.
That's interesting.
So you trying to push your luxury on people that don't need it just because you black and they black.
Mm.
And then they had the nerve to say, well, black people don't support me. You want people to support you and buy expensive shit they don't need just to say they supporting a brother or a sister?
Yeah.
No. You should try to push your expensive goods on people that can afford it and people that need it. That's who you should be marketing to.
Mm. Yeah, I mean,
not crying on Facebook about how people won't buy, black people won't support you, and black people won't buy your stuff. You in the wrong market.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking
plenty
at.
Of different markets you can go to. So that's my little rant for today. I hope everybody have a good evening.
Well, Miss Rashida, I appreciate you calling in and sharing your thoughts and informing us on custom suits and who not to buy them from.
Right. And don't forget my pistachios, because I don't think you gave me my one for calling in yesterday. I don't think you gave me my early bird pistachios, and I don't think you gave me my pistachios for today either. So,
these are all false allegations.
So don't make me pull up on you now.
Man, I have given a plethora of pistachios at the proper time. But I will double check my pistachio account, see what I got. If I got a couple of little, broken shells left, if I can throw a couple of pistachios in your direction, let me see what I got.
Oh wow, I get the funky pistachios. That's how you feel.
Couple little brown pistachios. They ain't that green.
Oh wow, wow! Y'all see how you do me? That's wrong. That's wrong.
Well, Miss Rashida, but
That's okay. I'll take them though.
I got you. I got you. But I appreciate it. Thank you for calling in.
All right.
All right, you have a good evening.
Okay, you take care.
All right.
All right, you have a good one too. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. That's funny. Let me give Miss Rashida her pistachios. Let me see. I think I actually been slacking on some of these pistachios. Let me see who else I owe. I owe so Lisa. You called twice. Let me hook so Lisa up. I owe Miss Bell and Miss Grace. Unbeaten. I don't think I gave him let me check my history. Oh, Big M. I don't want to give Big M nothing. He can't verify his legality with a green card. You know, I can't just be giving him illegal pistachios and I'm participating in his shenanigans. Extra pistachio? What? I take wounded pistachios. Y'all wild. But here is the dilly dally. It is about that time. I know I was a little bit late. The camera's tripping. I don't know if something updated, the settings changed over or whatever. Don't give damn shit. But we'll get ready to wind it down here. Tell myself I'm gonna start trying to go to sleep at a proper time. See, this week what I've been doing is I've been implementing, since the other day we was talking shit, I've been implementing more salads in my life. And so I'm trying to eat a little bit better. I eat terribly, deliberately terrible. And then, like I said, I'm gonna start powering up next week. Start hitting the track. You know, put in a couple of steps, and then start working my way up to running and all of that stuff. I gotta tighten up. I gotta get back. Like, see, here's my deal. I gotta. What's that shit the trannies be using to justify their shit? Body dysmorphia or some shit. Let me stop. Because, like, I'll lose the weight. Like, say, I'll slim down and I can lose it. And I'll start getting skinny. Like I say, I did a little fat. I got down into the 230s and all that other good stuff. And I'm just like, man, now I'm feeling like I'm too damn skinny. I'm getting smaller. I'm on the way to getting skinny. Like, I tell myself I want to be skinny, but I don't want to be skinny. I don't want to be skinny. I don't want to be. So it's like I'd rather be. I just, like I said, that's from start walking for a little while. Like I said, get back active. Then we're gonna get my ass a gym membership and then start pump some iron again. Because, like I said, last I was working at that other little gym at the other apartment. They didn't really have a lot of equipment. Maximizing the resources, but I'm gonna go. It's a gym not far up the road, so there's a couple of gyms actually in the area. So my plan is to start, say after the streams, take my ass to bed, getting up early, by 5 or so, and going and hitting the gym. Get a solid workout in, 30, 45 minutes, and then back door try to hit the little track. But like I said, I got to work myself up into that regimen and then try to get all that in before 6:30 and then get back, get everybody up and then get on about our days. So that's the new plan. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take some time. Plus, well, damn. But now I gotta get I gotta get back right. So, like I said, little skinny, flabby arms and all that shit. I got a gut and shit. It's not my bag. It's time to tighten up. Got the little funny neck and all that shit. So, Yeah, it's time to get it all right. Shannon, that's because you're on CP time. That's what it is. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? You on that Negro time. That's why you're always late. Let me see what I got here. Miss Cartier, how you doing this evening, Miss Cartier? Always good to see you. But I say that's the one good thing that I got. Like, I'm not big on so calling them that. Is that a name? Is that a name? Like, I thought that was like acceptable terminology. Like, is that a negative to say that? I thought that was acceptable terminology. I don't know how it goes, man. I'm not familiar with the culture. No, that's if you're in the Facebook group, look at the thing that look at what James Martin posted. And it's a TSU homecoming that happened last weekend, and in that, I guess it's the little end of the homecoming parade or whatever, and that little girl's face kills me. I like it. Let me see if I can do something real quick before we shut it all down. Give me just a second. Let me see what I can pull off here. I'm telling you, I've been watching that shit like 2 or 3 times every couple of hours. Just because that shit was so fucking funny to me. But at the end of the parade, it's a dude walking with his little cheerleading outfit. Oh yeah, they rebelled against LeBron too. That's funny. Let's check it out. And then that lady on the bike, that shit was funny too. Oh, that's the thing I wanted to talk about. We're gonna save it for tomorrow. There we go. That apparently a transgender comedian killed themselves, and they try to make reference to a fucking joke from that Dave Chappelle joke. They try to make a big deal of it. Like, come on, get the fuck out of here. Dave Chappelle ain't make nobody kill themselves. If they did that, they were on the way out on their own. Like, and I hate to make light of it or whatever you want to call it, but it is the truth. All right, hold on. Let me take this out. This should be interesting. All right. Hold on. We're gonna do it like this so y'all can see it properly. I don't know. I can tell I'm halfway tired here. Let's see. I need to crop it, clean it up. Let's go. Let's try. And the face that this little girl makes, it's like I said, it's not the funniest thing, but it's just like when you see it, you know exactly what she's thinking. And so that's what makes this so funny. Here, we pull it up, slide to the left. Cha-cha now, y'all. All right. for those y'all, just maybe this helps you see it a little bit better. Fucking. Oh my god, this shit is so fucking funny. No, it was. I think they reposted it from somebody else. But even the first would look a little managed. After that first would look a little questionable too. You know what I'm saying? It's the most unenthusiastic parade I've ever seen in my life. Motherfuckers just fuck it. We're gonna put it on loop as we get ready to wrap it up. Fuck it. I find that face so fucking funny. Just that shit is hilarious to me. Oh my god! Because you can tell, like she just look at her, she's questioning everything that she's ever been taught in life. Just like something's not right here. I don't understand. No, don't play with me. I'm trying to get me canceled. No, see, that done changed up and did a whole different thing. I was doing something different. I don't know. So look, now y'all trying to get me yamped up. Facebook browser source thingy. All right, there we go. I don't know why the fuck it brought the whole thing up. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know why. Let me see. Fuck it. That means it's time to go to bed because I don't even feel like trying to figure it out. But yeah, that's the face from that. And she just like, and that's the funniest part, right? That's the funniest fucking part is because she like look and like, she look at whoever holding the camera like, and they're just trying to figure out what's going on. And then she look like Gucci Man. That's the other funny thing about it. But yeah. So there is that. That's so tough, man. But like I said, I think anytime anybody's first saw something that went against what they were originally taught, and it's like, because you know that she got questions she want to ask, but she probably know that she ain't supposed to be asking, right? I don't know, but it's funny as fuck to me. But I appreciate all of y'all, man. Thank all of you for, calling, participating. We will be back here to have actually I think I have the rest of this week's show topics all done up. But if some type of news pops up, then we're gonna rock with it. 335, appreciate the mask, love. The rest of y'all. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. I'm finna take my ass to bed and go get some sleep. I might decide before I go to bed. I probably shouldn't, but I would. I don't know. I'll go. See, that lets you know how tired I am. I'm pushing the wrong buttons and shit. I'm out. Woo! Good grief. Doing too much, man. Doing too much. I don't take no medicine. I don't take medicine. You and your donkey AIDS. I don't want to hear it.